Hi, it's G from Native Speakers Academy, and I'm here today with one of my students. This is Barbara, and we're going to talk a little bit about Barbara's experiences of education in the Slovak education system. So, let's start with the present time. You're studying at the moment, right?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
so where are you studying and what are you studying?
So I study in a university. It's a faculty of economics, and I study tourism
Okay. And why did you choose tourism?
because I like geography and languages, and also economics.
Okay. And is it a full-time course or a part-time course?
It's a part-time course.
hmm And so far, how do you feel about the course? The course started what, like 1 month ago, 2 months ago?
The course started in the end of September.
Okay.
And it lasts to the beginning of February.
Okay. So, and what are your feelings so far about the course?
Mm, I think it's okay, but
But there's something which could be better.
yes, because we don't have a lot of time to do works and to study to our exams and the other things.
Okay. Um, Before you went to this university, where did you study?
I was studying in a bilingual grammar school.
hmm
It was Spanish language.
hmm
It was in Banska Bystrica. It
Mhm.
lasted 5 years, and I did my final exam also with Spanish from Spanish
hmm
and English too.
Super. So that means you can speak English, Spanish, Slovak, Czech as well.
Yes,
Okay. So how old are you now?
I am 20 now.
20, and you can speak 4 languages.
Yes.
That's impressive. Okay. Um, what are the advantages of the bilingual school?
Mm, I think the whole point is to learn the other language
hmm
and then also study the other subjects in this language. It means like biography, geography, chemistry, mathematics.
hmm
So the student can see it from two directions, from the Slovak and also from the Spanish. Also, I know something about the Spanish education system, and the professors from Spain are not the same like the Slovak professor. So I think it was a very good experience from the other kind of studies.
Okay, that's interesting. Can you describe or explain some of the differences between the professors or teachers from Spain and the Slovak teachers?
Um, Spanish teachers are not so close
hmm
that Slovak teachers, and the we can speak with them in a friendly line
hmm
because they are not so excited.
which which word?
The lessons are more free. It's not so
Strict.
strict. Yes,
Oh,
strict.
okay.
So I think a lot of students prefer this kind of education because is better, I think.
So the Slovak lessons are more strict than the Spanish?
Yes.
Or the Slovak teachers, sorry.
Yes, Slovak teachers are strict than Spanish teachers, but I think the education is the same. We didn't had less education from Spanish teacher than from Slovak teachers.
Okay, so there's no great advantage or benefit to the stricter system.
Yes.
Right. And how would you compare your benefits and your prospects for the future because you have another language now compared with other students who studied at different schools and didn't learn a language? Do you think there's an advantage for you?
Yes, of course. I can speak to other nationality. I know culture of other nationality. Is also good for my future work because I would like to work with languages, and if I know Spanish language, English language, I think it's not so difficult to find a good job. And also experience to know new people, like for example Spanish teachers, and that's all.
Okay, so it opens the world.
Yes.
To you, because with English, which is an international business language, you can search for more work, and with Spanish, I think there are a lot of opportunities for travel as well. If you take South America,
yes,
for example, and the countries there. Before you went to the bilingual grammar school, which school did you go to before that?
Then when I after starting my studies on this bilingual school, I went to basic school in my village in Jesenske.
Okay.
It was a normal school, nothing special.
And at what age do you start in that school?
In a basic school?
Yeah.
I was 6 years old.
Okay. And is it normal to go to a nursery school or kindergarten before that?
Yes.
Okay. So you maybe have 2 or 3 years of kindergarten.
Yes.
And then you start basic school at the age of 6. And how many years do you spend in basic school?
9 years.
9 years. So you finish basic school when you were 15?
15, yes.
And then you go to one of the secondary or grammar schools?
Yes.
Right. And from your experience at the bilingual school, what were some of the subjects that you liked and enjoyed, and some of the subjects you didn't like?
I think always are some subjects when the students don't like it, but for me very interesting was, for example, Spanish culture and Spanish geography, and for example I think the physics on Spanish language and also in Slovak language, it wasn't as useful. So for example, from this physics, the general information we learned in a basic school. So I think when some who don't want to study physics in the future is not useful to study it, for example, in a grammar school and in a different language.
How much choice do you have about the subjects that you study in school?
We haven't. We can't choose just in the last year, because then it was special seminars for final exams, and it was, I think, 4 subjects.
So you had to study the subjects that you were given in school, and you spent a lot of time preparing for the final exams.
Yes.
And do you think there were a lot of exams in the course, or were there exams as you went through the course, or only at the end?
I think during all the studies it was okay with exams. We had I think 3 or 4 exams at the half year or all semester, and in the end of studies, the final exams, it was 4 subjects. 2 was given and 2 was voluntary. So I could choose them, and I think it was normal.
So at the end of that school, you did exams in 4 subjects. Is that right? You had tests in 4 subjects when you finished? Or?
Yes, yes.
Okay. So what were the 4 subjects?
It was Spanish, English, Slovak, and geography.
Wow. And when you went through the school and through the course, did you feel any stress or pressure to do well in the school?
These final exams? I think a little bit of pressure is normal, but I was prepared, so I didn't care.
Okay, yeah. Good students are always prepared, right? What about your family's opinion about your choice of school and your courses?
They didn't like when I came here to study to bilingual grammar school, because it's 100 kilometers from my home village. But then they was content because I was successful, and I liked the new language. So
was it difficult to travel to a school in a different town?
No, it's not a very big distance, so it was okay.
How about things like help with homework? Sometimes students at school need some help from their parents with a few things for school. Did your parents help you much with that?
Actually not, because they don't speak Spanish and English also, so they didn't help me, but they help me with other things, with organization sometimes, and money also.
Okay, of course. And you come from quite a big family as well.
Yes.
Right. So, and you're the oldest in the family. So how many people are in your family?
7.
7.
Including me.
Including you. So, as the oldest, do you feel any pressure on you to be a good example for the others? Or?
Yes, I had to be a good example to my youngest brothers and sisters, but I think I am so.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, I agree. I agree. I agree very much. Um, let's talk a little bit about what makes a school a good school, what makes a teacher a good teacher. From your experience in education, and you are still in education, um, what what do you want from education, and did you get what you wanted?
For example, mm, to learn a new language. For
Hmm.
example, in my grammar school, uh, I wanted to learn this language, and I got
Hmm.
it. And what I didn't get, I think it was okay, always okay. I uh, I get also the certificate of the language, and then I could do the other international certificate of language, and I think is enough.
Hmm. Was there any opportunity to travel to an English-speaking country or a Spanish-speaking country?
Yes, it was, but it didn't organize the school.
Uh-huh.
It was just individual. But for example, from my um, class, it was, I think, two girls,
Hmm.
and they were one of them of Colombia, and one of them in Madrid.
Hmm. If you could change something to make something better within the grammar school system, is there something you could think of that you would like to be different there?
For example, change old teachers to young teachers.
Okay. Tell me more about that. Why would you do that?
I think I uh, I think that old teachers doesn't uh, refresh the informations,
Hmm.
so they teach the old information, and also the distance between students and teacher is very big. So I think it would be better to change it.
Isn't that a, a little bit not logical that those older teachers who have more experience do the job less well than the younger teachers with less experience?
Yes, they have more experience, but a lot of things change during the life, and also in technical world, for example.
Hmm.
So they can't use these items as well as the young teachers.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm just thinking about that for a second. Um, but it's sort of a teacher's responsibility to keep up to date with the latest technology and new ways of doing things. It's a little bit of a shame that they just repeat the same thing again and again and again. Um, in fact, I'm not sure that teachers should have to repeat the same thing again and again and
Mm.
again. Why not just teach a lesson, record yourself teaching it, put it on YouTube,
Mm-hmm.
and there you go. You don't have to do it again. You can improve it, you can make it better, you can re-record it, and then you don't have to have 100,000 teachers all over the planet trying to teach the same thing. You can get one who does it really well, and you can show that lesson to everybody, and the teacher can ask some questions or answer some questions, and everybody can move on to doing something else. That would be my solution to the problem. Maybe it wouldn't work. I don't know. What about the environment for education? What about the classrooms, the desks, the chairs? Were you satisfied with the environment of the school?
So the build of my school was very old, but the interior it was good. We had a new desk and chairs, and also we had some technical products like projectors and some computers is in some rooms. So I think from this side it was good. It was enough to study.
Now, as I know a little bit about you, I know that you were a very good student in school and you got very good grades, and I know that you worked very hard to get those grades. But then you chose to study part-time at university and not full-time. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yes, I wanted to work, so for this reason I chose the part-time in university, and also I was at the dormitory during my grammar studies, so I could be a student in dormitory. So this part of my life is done. And but the most important reason for choose the part-time studies, it was my work.
So, if I understand it correctly, you wanted to get as much work experience as possible, or?
Yes, and also I wanted to leave my house and create my new life. And
okay, you wanted to be independent.
Yes, independent.
And I imagine that there was maybe a little bit of resistance from your family about this independence.
Yes, it was a little bit, but now it's okay.
Okay. From the education that you got, do you feel prepared for the future? Do you feel ready for it?
I think yes, but also I would like to get information from university where I am studying, because there are information from economics, and I would like to go with this direction. So
yeah, economics is the future. I think in a lot of ways important to understand how all the pieces of society fit together economically, financially, and through banks and so on. If you had to choose some of the most important things that you learned from school, or maybe from life, what would you say were the most important things?
I think it's very difficult to answer this question, because I learned a lot of important information, but I think the language and studies about Spanish culture, also biography, but not just Spanish, but also the Slovak is the same. And
By biography, do you mean biology?
biology, yes,
Okay,
biology.
Okay. Just to be clear. Okay.
Yes, biology, and I think for me it was the most exciting, those informations.
Your answers are very diplomatic. Have you considered a career in politics, perhaps?
Maybe.
Maybe in the future. Who knows which direction everything will go in. So, from the past to the present to the future, if we look at the future, what do you want to get from your future studies before you finish, so that you feel prepared and ready? What do you want out of the future?
I would like to create my own company. So for that I need the economic studies, and then I don't know now which direction this company will be. So, but I would like to work with languages.
And how long have we known each other? Like a year? More than a year?
I think more than a year.
More than a year. Okay. So let's talk a little bit about the school. The school is in the private sector, and so it's a little bit different from the state system. Can you talk a little bit about your experience here compared with your experience there?
For me, it was a very good experience, because in state school, it was education in a small group. So the teachers can get a lot time to each student, and so this type is very individual, and for me it was very good, because I wanted to learn English quickly, and in state school it would be late, I don't know, 5 years.
So the individual approach is faster for the student.
Yes, it's faster.
Is it something that you would recommend to other students? Maybe yes.
Be responsible, do homeworks, and always be prepared for lessons, and not just from English lessons, but also to school, and work in progress, not on in the end of studies.
So what you suggest to other students is maybe to have a plan.
Yes.
Maybe to do the work
temporary.
Step by step.
Step by step. Yes.
Not leaving everything to the last minute, which is, studying for 6 hours the night before the exam, and the faster you put information into your brain, I think the faster it falls out as well. So if you do this cramming and study the night before an exam, then 2 days later you have almost forgotten everything that you tried to learn. Where if you learn step by step, usually you can remember more. There's also a study that I read which was that if you look at new information, within 24 hours of getting that information, you have an 80% better chance of keeping the information in your head. What happens is people get new information and they don't look at it again. But if you look at it again within the first day or two, there's a higher probability of remembering it again in the future. And there's also the concept that you have to meet any piece of information about 7 or 8 times in order for it to be permanently accessible in your memory. So thank you very much for doing this interview today. I think that I say this to all my students, but students are really the clients and the customers of education. And if we want to make anything or any business better, it's really important to know what the clients and the customers want. I think of students as the customers and their parents as the clients. And I think it's an interesting question. Did any of your schools ever ask you what you wanted?
No.
No. Well, that's a very important point. I think that the system works, but there's always space to make things better. And one of the ways to make it better is to listen to what the customers want. And then you can filter the good ideas and the bad ideas and try to focus on things to make the future a little bit better. It's basic business sense, right? Focus on your customers, keep them happy. If people didn't want iPhones, Apple would not be manufacturing iPhones. So there we go. Thank you very much for listening. I hope it's been interesting for you. It's been interesting for me. And we will conclude our little discussion right here.